Welcome back, and today in this section we'll be talking to Dr. Chris Marshall, a researcher at the University of Wollongong. Chris has been investigating some of the causes and consequences of drink driving. Over to you, Dr. Marshall.
Hi, Mr. Reporter. Thank you for having me here today.
So tell us, what is it that led you to this topic in your research?
The effects of alcohol are wide-ranging and impossible to avoid. In fact, the statistics showed that while death rates from drink driving have started to go down since 2014, both 2015 and 2016 showed an increase in alcohol-related driving deaths.
What kinds of numbers are we looking at here?
If we look at the demographics of drink drivers who were killed between 2013 and 2017, 93% were men and 67% were under the age of 40. Drivers between 21 and 24 represent 34% of all alcohol-impaired deaths.
Are these numbers represented in the random breath testing statistics?
Well, in 2017, more than 99% of drivers tested were within legal blood alcohol limits, so not really.
So, what percentage of car accidents are actually caused by these drunk drivers?
About 30% of all road accidents are caused by drunk driving.
So, we've talked about the fatalities of drink driving, but what are some of the consequences?
There are many types of consequences to driving under the influence of alcohol. Some being the socioeconomic and the legal consequences are obvious, such as loss of driver's license, fines, court costs, not to mention the cost of legal fees, medical bills, and time off work and more. These can cause you to having difficulty getting work or retaining work. Then we have the psychological consequences of dealing with the outcomes of what can happen when you drink and drive. These can include depression, guilt, psychological stress, and even mental illnesses such as PTSD, which means post-traumatic stress disorder.
There are lots of consequences, aren't there? So, Dr. Marshall, where is your research going to now?
We are continuing to investigate an attachment that goes on the ignition of the car or on the car keys that prevents drivers with a record from starting a car if the breath analyzer registers alcohol in their system. This could be made compulsory for any driver who has had any sort of positive result in an RBT or to anyone who has been in an incident involving drink driving.
That sounds like a very, very promising idea. Thank you so much for coming along today and sharing this information with our audience. I hope you have a good night.
Thanks for inviting me to share our research. We really believe it's important to get this information to the public.